such an asshole.
Okay, last one for the night. I had kind of a day where I did go to the gym. I did get food, but otherwise I did nothing. I sat around the house. I guess I did take out the garbage. That counts, right? Right? All right. Let me tell you something that's even better for your mental health than taking out the garbage, and that is to turn off the news. We have a request. Hi, Aaron. I spent a lot of time listening to your stuff while I work. I don't have any specific requests, but I like your originals, and you mentioned in one of your videos that you don't get many requests for them. I have two questions. One, do you have an original mind that you want to? I have a phone list on my notepad here of all the originals I like to, that I never get to because I have so many other requests from people that have a question about their lives. So there's a limitless number of these. If so, how much do you want to be funded for it? Usually I charge $35. That may go up due to Biden bucks. Figure asking your originals better than me just dumping money. I appreciate your longer videos, and while I don't agree with everything you say, don't worry, you'll get there. You do provide a lot of entertainment while I'm working. Well, thank you very much. Let me know, please. Blah, blah, blah. Thanks. And yeah, I think we just want to keep you anonymous. All right. It's a simple one. Just everyone should turn off the news. Just stop watching the news. And the reason why, well, there's a lot of reasons why, but the main one is it just is going to make you miserable. Because here's what's happened with news. There's a lot of good news out there. The guy who played in The Office, then he got Tom Clancy, Tom Ryan, Jack Ryan, then he got all buff. That guy did a channel called The Good News, and he do good news. But you see, that doesn't sell. And whether you're Fox News or CNN or anything in between, or it's I was going to say something else. It's unwanted stepchild MSNBC. Their goal is to make money. They are first and foremost a money-making operation. And the modern day, although it's always kind of been this way, is to have sensationalism and zaniness. This is why I don't really believe the Daily Mail. They're a tabloid. This is also why I don't believe, what was it? It escapes me now. But for the most part, pretty much everything that is news related is at best a skewing of the truth, a sensationalism of the truth. And their goal is to get you agitated and riled up because people click, and that's eyeballs, and that's advertising dollars, more to a threat than they do, well, Joe Schmo in Puxatawney, Pennsylvania, retired after 40 years in dentistry. And that's why in my podcast, Good Morning Corona Chan, I do like a little local news bit at the end. I will be getting back to that regularly once I get back to the Northern Command. But that stuff doesn't sell. You got to go to like the Lusk Herald Tribune. It's a real thing. You got to go to Podunk, Montana. Farmer Brown got a new cow today. It's like, Farmer Brown got a new cow. I feel better. But if you watch the news, they are going to agitate. They're going to lie or not tell you the full truth. You're going to get agitated, and it's just going to lessen your right. You're going to get a cortisol dump. You'll constantly be threatened. I mean, if you watch CNN, you think all the white people out there are just about to pounce and murder anyone, not them. And if you watch Fox News, which I would grant is a little bit more accurate, but I've caught them in outright lies. Like, no, what? No, dude, you obviously, and what Ben Shapiro, his website did one. I don't know if it's related to Fox News, but there was one thing where it's like, I can't believe they're doing this. I think it was where the schools were having minority composed, like the music class in a high school. They were going to do some pieces by minority composers. I'm like, well, yeah, okay. That's what exactly is wrong with that? But they skewed it where it was like they made it sound like there was a racial component. I mean, I guess there was a racial component, but it's like, so what? Okay, that might be cool. Yeah, because I don't know about you guys. I'm kind of tired of Beethoven and Bach and Mozart. I'm not a big fan of classical music anyway. The point is, they all lie. And I know this one family, like I'd crash with them occasionally. I'd wake up and there they'd be on their tablets. This is in the morning. And there'd be Fox News getting all pissed off at the world. Now, here's the thing. Obviously, in between CNN and Fox News, there is the truth, maybe. And obviously, I'd try to, I wouldn't try. I would trust Fox News more, but it would be kind of like verify first. But in the end, you don't control any of this. All right? You don't. The people coming in the South, they have the border thing. You don't control that. It's going to be whether Biden decides to shut down the border or not. That you don't control that. The election at the governor's race in Virginia recently. I didn't watch it. I don't watch the news anymore. I don't care. I'm sure the Democrats have some complaints about how the race was run or whatever. I'm sure there's CNN has you all worked up about something. You don't control it. Don't worry about it. All right. And this is, you go a couple of videos back, we were talking about Stoicism and books on Stoicism I recommend. And this is a great time to practice Stoicism because, yes, you should care about the direction of your country. You live here and you'd like it to be stable, not like, hyperinflated prices or electricity going out or food shortages. That won't happen, Cappy. Remember, I don't watch the news. I form my own opinions with research, and you better look out. Why? I don't know. Read some books of mine. See how good I am at predicting things. But there ain't no reason to watch it because you can't do anything about it. And I remember one time, Atham looked this up. I was like tired of working on the house over in South Dakota, and I left and I went down not too far to Lake Angostura. Atham look it up. And it was late mid-fall, and it was kind of eerie and creepy because, if there's a resort town in South Dakota, I guess that's it. And there's a reservoir, Lake Angostura. It's actually quite sizable when I think about it. I was driving around exploring it, and there's like all these little trailer parks, but they're kind of nice. They're all done up and real nice, but like little towns on this lake. And there's not a lot of towns in South Dakota. So I was surprised to even see that much infrastructure down there. And then there was this restaurant, and there's sand beaches and volleyball, and there's like a lot of docks. And you look at all this infrastructure, like, whoa, this must be happening in summer. I never knew about this place. Like, there's a lot of people must come down here. But it was a ghost town. No one was around. I just heard the wind blowing off the lake and then entering the trees. It was weird, but a cool weird. And so I just walked along the beach. I found some fossils, hiked all the way to where one of the rivers was feeding it, but the river dried up because they're in the middle of a drought. And then I came back, and there was something happened in the news. So people were, did you? And I remembered specifically, like, no, dude, I was walking around Lake Angostura. You know what? I can't remember what it was, and whatever it was, it didn't kill me. Electricity's still on. Right? And so if you look at the news for what it is, a money-making operation that makes money by essentially lying to you. And it worsens your health through cortisol dumps, stress, which most, at best, it lessens your standard of living. At worst, it's lessening your standard of living and then also making you mentally depressed and arguably mentally ill and physically ill and higher risk for heart attack and stroke. It's despicable what the people in the news do. CNN, Fox News, Drudge, I don't care who. It's despicable. And this clickbait sensationalism, it's like the Hearst Foundation, or not the foundation, but the Hearst paper where it was just yellow journalism, if you remember that. Sinking of the Maine, if I recall my American history correctly. Your life and your mental health is just too damn short to watch the damn news. And I would do anything else but what. So here's what you can do. Do whatever you need to prepare for the bad things that are coming your way, right? Regardless of your political stripe. If you think a group of people is coming to get you, why don't you go get some guns and get some ammo? You think your local community sucks? Like, for example, this is real news. Minneapolis and St. Paul both passed rent controls. Well, that's good to know. I'm glad I left that town. Right? That's news to know. Don't buy, but if you're there, put your house up for property. You don't own it, by the way. Don't invest in rental property in the Twin Cities. You make adjustments so that bad news no longer affects you. Look at all. I'll give you another example. I don't mean to be political about this, but let me give you an example. All right. So those on generally the right, though not always, are very upset with Joe Biden's declaration or mandate for the 100+ employees to be forced to get the root beer float. That's what I have to call it because we don't have the freedom of speech here. And what I want you to think, that was what, 4 months ago, 3 months ago? Now, how many calories of energy were wasted by the Fox News gang, not the people that are on the show? I mean, people that tune into Fox News and are all hyped up and worried about it, only to have a federal court say, no, you can't do that. And now it's not going to happen. All that, and not even people that tuned into Fox News, all these employers, oh, what are we going to do? And very similar to this, just to show you how stupid most of you are. I don't mean my audience. I mean people just tuning in for the first time. Like, well, that's kind of rude. Tell me, you'll see how it works here. Do you get pissed off if the Minnesota Vikings don't win or the Tennessee Titans don't throw a ball good? Ooh, the Houston Astros, did they win? I don't know. Did they win? Like, that's even worse than the news. Worse getting worked up about the news, because at least the news ostensibly does have an effect on your life and your standard of living. You guys definitely, now that you need to turn off the news, you need to turn off the sports. And what you really need to turn off, this is for the special kids, all right? This is for the short bus kids. Those of you who watch sports news, you really need to get a life, frankly. You really. I cannot. I mean, you might as well go watch soap operas or something. I don't think you get worked up about sports news. Anyway, this video should go viral. It'd be probably the single best thing for all Americans to do. We'd probably start liking each other a little bit. We wouldn't be so angry. Our mental health and physical health would most definitely improve. And you go out and you have more fun. You have a better life. It ain't going to get promoted because it doesn't result in clicks. Doesn't result. Because I got news for you. Websites, channels, YouTube channels and all that. It's kind of the same thing. Oh my gosh, Sniper Wolf. Which, frankly, I can't fault her because that is a brilliant businesswoman if you actually look into her. But I'm like, what? How many souls did you sell to the devil to get this arrangement? I mean, it's just, but that's what gets the click. That's what gets the clicks. Well, how about this? How about you just put it all away, turn off every screen in your house, and go walk around Lake Angostura or wherever lake it is that you have near your place. And there you go. There's my random rant. There we go. Share this with somebody. You got any super chats? I hope these general topics like attract new people. Handpicked news rep. Yep. Long story short, for $5, where you come from, it's gone. Where you thought you were going to, I'm not even looking at, weren't never there. And where you are ain't no good unless you can get away from it. Yep. You understand? There's only one thing left for me to do, mama. I'd like to say that, but that's also prohibited on YouTube. Oh, Ryan Silva, Hot Springs used to get a lot of Canadian tourists there. I knew a couple kids in China who au paired out there and was full of Canadian. Really? I spent 2 summers in Hot Springs and I did not, I didn't see any Canadians. Then again, I wasn't exactly looking. They don't exactly stand out from Americans. They really don't. Had no idea. I guess it's close to Canada. Just scrolling here, making sure I didn't miss anything. Boom. All right, we're done. See you guys later. Toodles.